I do a lot of overtime, working hard on the assembly line. Every day I'm working hard for you. I don't mind working, baby, not as long as you've been true. I don't mind putting in all this overtime. Ooh, baby, I'm working hard, baby. I'm working 7 days a week, so you can have shoes on your feet.
This is KVCI.blogspot.com. I'm George Foster Rhynes. I'm in Valdosta, Georgia. And I'm down at Let's Eat Cafe. And just thought I'd cut this clip. By the way, the writing is called Tribute to an Unknown Soldier. I wrote that writing in 1984. I received recognition from 3 former presidents. President Jimmy Carter said he was going to put one in his historic building. Also, Reverend Jesse L. Jackson received one in Tucson, Arizona. And several other presidents. I haven't sent President Barack Obama one, but I intend to send him one as well. I'm sitting down at Let's Eat Cafe, and this is on exit 16 here in Valdosta, Georgia. I often come in here and sit, get my head together. And when I say get my head together, not already together, but when I meet people from various backgrounds, truckers come in here, they have different personalities. And since I like meeting people, it just fertilizes my brain cells and makes me a better person. And so we're just sitting here today and thought we'd share that with you. In a few minutes, I'm going to take you into an interview. The next clip will be where Minister John Robinson interviewed me. Very seldom does George Rhynes consent to interviews or that type of thing, but John Robinson has some questions to ask me today. Today is January 5th, 2013, and we thought we would share it with you, and that's what I want to do. The purpose of this video here is to lead into the next one, which will be when you will see Minister John Robinson give me a few questions to answer, and I did my best to answer them. Once again, I'm George Foster Ryan. This is KVCI. KVCI means Keeping Valdosta Citizens Informed. Once again, Tribute to an Unknown Soldier. I may add that to the bottom of the next link, so you can look at the video as I put it together concerning this unknown soldier. And I want you to see if you know this soldier. Once again, this is George Foster Ryan, down at exit 16, Highway 84 West, heading towards Quickman, Georgia. And we invite everybody to come in and sit and talk with me. I often take on civil and human and women's rights issues, and this is what I do. I can be contacted. My email address is Boston G.B.R. My YouTube channel is Boston G.B.R. And I'm throughout Facebook. Just check me out.
This is January, I think the 5th.
Yes, sir.
It's the 5th. And I'm sitting here with my best friend. And I done said it so many times before, but not here on this video. Happy New Year's, man.
Happy New Year to you, my beautiful brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Happy New Year. Happy New
Listen,
Year. Yes, sir.
I got a good question.
Yes, sir.
How do it feel being you?
Well, sometimes I use my fingers, and other times I use my mind to try to feel myself.
I hear you.
And then once I do that, I have to back up and start all over again. Because I find myself beneath the water swimming like a fish and don't know how to even test my own feelings.
I hear you.
And so I guess I'm going to have to let it rest with you. Let you do the testing for me.
I hear you.
Test me by the way I live. Test me by the way I treat you. Test me by the way I treat other people. And I think that it just may be the way God tests me. And I believe He is the master of all tests, and I hope I pass whatever qualifications and lines He got for me in store for me. I hope that I can pass that test.
Oh man, how superbly put. Okay, you know, you do a lot of things for many people. You do a lot of legal work. Right here, and this is the corner heading here where you come into the cafe, and you come into the restaurant, and you come here in your corner and you go to work, and this is the place where you where what belongs to you, you know. Yes, it's your corner.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and I've seen person after person come over here, different people, different personalities with different issues, different problems, and you sit right here and not only here, you get up, you go to Quitman, working with the Quitman team.
Yes, sir.
People that were discriminated against, and you go all to Americus, Georgia, dealing with people up there on issues. You go out here to the jail and dealing with the young people. What do you feel like need to really be done pertaining to the lawship here?
Doc, first of all, you touch my heart because you're the only person that have a glimpse of what I do, and I don't value what I do enough. I guess a lot of people tell me that. I was over at the jail yesterday with Miss Jackson and her son. We've been out there in jail for over a year, and they put him in the isolation, and they say he was fighting about the charges with another inmate. They put him in jail in isolation for 30 days. And he go to trial on the 10th and the 14th, and the question is, his mama wanted to see him, but when you're in isolation, they can't see you. And we saw his lawyer, Jason Kane, who has not been a good lawyer according to the mother and the son. And so sometimes I wish that I was a millionaire, because I would take that case, I would get him a lawyer. And I've been doing this for a long time, and it seems to me that there is an ongoing, as you put it, pattern and practice of doing the same thing with the people who are stuck on the bottom of the economically oppressed citizens in our community, and they're being used. They may commit a crime, but they still should have rights. And so, to get back to your original question, I haven't lost thought of the question. I just thought I would mention that. When I go to Americus, Georgia, and to the Plains Center, and another area where I knew nothing about, Mr. Clarence Jordan, a white man who had a farm over there, and he had blacks and white employed, and he paid them equally, and that created a problem for whites, and the Klan came in as well. His heart was right. He was what I call a white right person. When I go to Port St. Joe, Florida, and see blacks move into a subdivision and build houses on a toxic plant, and I wonder where's Al Sharpton in 60 Minutes and 48 Hours and all these people. It's as if though something has happened in our country wherein it's a reflection of the old 1860 charter that was displayed on the walls here in Valdosta City Hall on the second floor, until it was reluctantly removed in 2004 because I asked for it to be removed. As a retired military veteran, I took offense to that. Valdosta is also the home to Moody Air Force Base, and to have an 1860 charter which said that the mayor and council shall pass all proper and necessary laws and ordinances for the control of slaves and free persons of color, and to suppress, control, and abate all nuisances arising from hogs, dogs, horses, and other livestock straying at large here in Valdosta. Well, we are way into the 21st century now, and to see the newspapers and television and radio suppress the people of America while our sons and daughters are fighting foreign wars in Vietnam, in Vietnam and other places, and Kuwait, and we've lost a lot that we used to have, and yet we pride ourselves around the world as being a nation of laws, as being freedom and justice for all people. And somewhere down the line, my beautiful brother, we've lost something. So when I go out like that short form, it pains me to see a new birth of hate and racism popped up in a different form of a new vegetable called, in my opinion, called reverse Christianity and reverse patriotism in this beloved nation.
Well, I want to ask you another question. Man, that I'm glad you answered it that way, and I want to ask you another question. Do you feel like the nigger era is passing on?
What do you mean?
You know, we was in.
You say it's passing on, or have we gotten out of it?
My question is, you know, everything was based upon using nigger.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in our society, and nobody don't want to talk about it on the raw coarse end, by the N word, and right. But yet still it's that era. Well, do you feel like it's passing on?
Yes, it's passing on. Good. It's passing on through these children who they are teaching the same thing. A lot of parents are teaching they're passing that fruit of niggerism on. And these children, some of them are still got that in them, and they're going to carry it on. I use this as an analogy. I say that we must understand that there is people who are following and living the dream of Dr. King. I try to be one of those people. There are also people who are following the dream of Lester Maddox and Lou O'Connors and Satan, and there's nothing we can do about it. And that's going to be carried on. But in the end, eventually, the annals of history will drop those people and that spirit along the roadside. They will be nothing more than footnotes on the bottom pages of history. And most people will overlook them because they're not even worthy to be read. And their children, those who teach their children hatred and the nigger syndrome, what they will do, the children, their great-grandchildren, will see them as what they was, and that was less than what God intended for a human being to be.
So you feel that the air of integrity is going to prevail?
Every day, my beautiful brother. I am encouraged. Just yesterday, I went with Miss Carol Ward from Carol Moore up in Lakeland, who called me yesterday to go down to the library on an issue of them using possibly public money, and yet there are no minutes to show where it was approved. And so this is where we are today. We are at an era now wherein people must question their government and their forms of government, and they must do it while they are in tune with the right mind before they get a chemical imbalance.
Yes,
and we are hoping that no one go down that road of getting the chemical imbalance.
Man.
Once you get the chemical imbalance, there's no telling what you would do, ain't no telling how you would think, and ain't no telling how you would train your children.
The ground that man walked upon. Oh, I never heard him use a profane word. left on ramp to I-75 South.
Yes, my grandfather was a very, very unique individual. What you just heard was my navigator. Even though I'm coming up I-75 on the bypass of Atlanta. But anyway, my grandfather I loved so dearly. My grandmom too. My granddaddy was just a special person with me. He stood about 5
Left
feet.
on ramp to I-75 South.
He was jet black. His hair in the air. And he wore these old broke down hats. Felt like a little stuff sunlight. And he had a gray one and he had a brown one. The gray one was very, very clean. The brown one was, it had formed its own shape. Oh Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Those were the days. I was indeed free. I can tell you right now that I know what freedom were because we was on a farm that
Drive 140
my granddad,
miles.
he didn't own, but he lived on this farm about 260 or 70 acres. He had a creek called Cherry Creek that ran through it. And the farm was owned by a black man by the name of Jim Woods. Mr. Woods didn't even charge my grandfather any rent, not a lease for the land, and told him that he could live there to the day he died, his wife died, and if any of his children want to buy the place, they have the first option to buy the farm. But he didn't have to pay him not one dime. It was like granddaddy had his own farm. And Mr. Wood didn't even come over and visit to see, to check on the farm. Every now and then, once out every blue moon, he may come by and sit down and talk to granddaddy or something like that. But he wouldn't even ride over the farm to see what kind of condition it was in. They just had a bond between them for some reason. I don't know what it were, but they were the best of friends, I suppose. That part I don't know about granddad, but I do know that he was a construction worker and a farmer. He worked on bridges. And this kind of thing. And he used to drive trucks. I didn't know this. You know, my mom, she lived to be 82 years of age. She died last year or so. And she died in 2012. Born in 1929. And she told me about her father. But I loved that man, Lord have mercy. I loved my grandfather. And he was a black man, and he would grow these cucumbers and tomatoes and watermelons and things on the farm. I recall my first encounter with racism, and I knew because they would tell me that the white folk would kill you. They sung that to him because Granddad said these white folk would kill you. He wouldn't say kill you, he said kill you. These white folks will kill you. For no reason. So if you see a car coming, get off the road because they'll run you over. That's to run you over. And they'll find your body out here in the woods and we'll never know who hit you. You should tell us that as a little boy. And one day we had picked some cucumbers that was maybe 2.5 inches long and maybe 3/4 inches diameter. They was known to be his number ones. We had 18 bushels of them. Loaded them onto a 1959 Chevy. Or something like that. And I must have been about 7, maybe 8 years of age. And me and my cousin Coop, his name is Billy Shakespeare, we hopped on that old Chevrolet and we rode downtown on the back of amongst the bushes. Lord have mercy, Jesus. And on the way in, we went to the farmer's market that's in town today. On 41, on US 41, right there in South Austin. pulled in the line to sell his cucumbers. White guy in the place there told my grandfather, he says, pull out the line, preacher, because there's a white man in line. So it ain't him unload, then you get back in line. Granddaddy says, I was him first. He said, I said, pull out the line, preacher, and let the white man ahead of you. I won't take none of your sales, but get out the line. There's a white man in here. Grandmama told Granddad, elder, get on out the line, or he ain't gonna wait on you. So Granddaddy pulled out the line. So when the white man pulled off, Granddaddy went to pull back in the line. At the same time, another white man pulled up. He said the same thing apply, preacher. Pull back out the line. Matter of fact, if you see another white man pull up here, just stay out the line until the white folks get through. Then I'll wait on you. We stayed there till the sun turned red in the evening. And then when we pulled up in the line, he said, look at me like you got a truckload of coal. These ain't no good for nothing. But get to the homes. My grandmama said, elder, don't sell that cracker. Not one of them cucumbers. Take him and do just what he said. Tell me, give him to the home. No, sell him 3 or 4 bushels of them, enough to get some flour and meal. And some lard. And we'll bake it from right there. Granddaddy sold him about 4 bushels. We went around the Harvey grocery store and grandmama bought some flour, meal, and some lard or reckon. And went on back to the country and gave those cucumbers to the hogs. That was the last time we went into town for quite some time. Then they began to sell their product amongst themselves. See, black folks had something then, unity. That these today blacks don't have. Back there in those days, if you give a black man a knife, he'll say thank you. Nowadays, you give a black man a knife, he say move back before I cut you, nigga. Oh man, back there in those days, you give a black man a stick, he'll say thank you for giving me some throat, man, and giving me this old stick to beat off the snakes and stuff. You give a black man a stick these days, he say, nigga, I'll put this stick all over you, nigga. Yes, sir. Back there in those days, you talk to a man and give him a few words of wisdom and encouragement. Now you go to sit him down to talk to him and say, nigga, who you supposed to be? Oh man, we done lost something that we once had. Black Americans going to hell in a bucket. We so distorted, we don't even have any hope. It seems like we've been physically and mentally drained of our desires to become something. Look like we were robbed of our integrity. Rush Limbaugh come on and talk about the people of the food stamps and how they don't want to work and how he despised them. Rush Limbaugh is a fool. The Bible says call no man a fool. But Limbaugh is a fool. A certified, bona fide fool, not a nut, a fool, an ignorant fool. Is what Rush Limbaugh is. Because he really is one man that believes what he's saying and without understanding. Back there in cracker.